Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Gospel Reflection. Today's reading is from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7, verses 1 through 5. Often when I come to read the sacred scriptures, it can take me a little bit of time to unpack what they mean and figure out how I'm called to apply it in my life. Some of the scriptures can be really difficult to interpret, but this is not difficult to interpret. The Lord is being very, very clear and direct with his words here. He's not mincing his words and he's not beating about the bush. He says, stop judging that you may not be judged. Stop judging. And yet we find it so difficult not to do this. And why is that? I think it's something obviously linked to original sin. But if you think back to Adam in the garden, when the Lord confronts him and says, Adam, what's going on? What did you do? And the first thing that Adam's response, instead of saying, God, I'm sorry, I made a poor decision. The first thing that Adam says, it wasn't me, it was her fault. It was her. Look at her. It's really, really easy for us to do that, to judge other people, to make assumptions about other people, to become self-righteous in our own opinions about other people, when the reality is that we know nothing about the situation. Often we do not know the person's heart or the intention behind anything. God alone knows that, and yet we come in guns blazing with decisions or judgments that we think should be made. And that's dangerous for us to do that, because of course we get the action confused sometimes with the person. And that is obviously never okay. People need to be treated with respect and dignity. And so when we get into that territory, it's dangerous for us. So the Lord is just giving us a clear guidance here. Don't do that. Don't judge people. Leave that to me. And thank God, He's the merciful judge. He's the one that sits on that throne, and that we don't have to. He's the one in the power and the one on the judgment seat. And the other thing about this gospel that I love is the Lord is encouraging us to take a look at ourselves, to reflect upon ourselves. He says, remove the wooden beam from your eye first, then you will see clearly to remove the splinter from your brother's eye. It's not that we don't call out wrongdoing for what it is when we see it, but the Lord is saying, stop first and reflect on your own life, because again, none of us are perfect. None of us are without sin. And the Lord is encouraging us to stop and reflect, and not just to reflect, but we can do something with that reflection. There's the beauty of the sacrament of reconciliation. We can stop, reflect, look at our lives. Where have I hurt God? Where have I hurt others? Where have I hurt myself through my actions, through my inaction? And once we know those things, we take that splinter to the Lord in the sacrament of reconciliation, and He pours forth His grace, His love, His healing, His mercy into those places that we need Him the most, so that we can grow, become more like Him. So stop and reflect today. Where's the splinter in your own eye? And take that to confession. God bless you.